Hello and welcome. This is Alicia of the Chardon Sign Shack. I'm coming to you live from Chardon, Ohio, and I am the ambassador for the Stencil Smith. As you're hopping on, please say hello. Let me know if you're watching me live or you're watching me on replay. I forgot to send out a notification before the live to let you know that I was going live. I try to do that on Telegram, and today I did forget about that. My grandkids blew in and they blew out really quickly, and the 4-year-old was having a meltdown. So I apologize for not sending that out. But again, as you're hopping on, please let me know if you're watching me live or on replay. Let me know where you're watching me from. I love getting to know everybody and enjoy watching them. April will be joining us here real soon from the Stencil Smith. She is the owner, her and her husband Pete, at the Stencil Smith. And if you don't know anything, hello, Susan, how are you? Thank you for sprinkling, Susan. We appreciate that always. I'm going to open this up here on my secondary device and get rid of, okay. Hi, Karen. How are you from Illinois and North Dakota? Hello, April. So as I was saying, April and Pete are the owner of the Stencil Smith, and it is a company based here in Ohio. And everything they make is cut to order, and it's made in the USA. It's usually sent out, from the dentist. I hate going to the dentist. Even if it's for a cleaning, I don't like it. But that's like the necessary thing you have to do to keep everything working good. But as you're hopping on, oh, hi, Carol, how are you? As you're hopping on, if you wouldn't mind doing this, which means sprinkling means to do this. We just can't say it on the live. We can't say it. We get dinged for it. So I wanted to show you the giveaway today. Well, that's weird. I'm getting notifications. Okay, that's odd. Well, you know what? Let me put my to sleep thing on. I forget what it's called. Okay, that'll help with notifications. You had a cleaning, a few things that need to be done. Yeah, and dental work is not cheap, sadly. So this is going to be the giveaway today. Dear Santa, I regret nothing. How cute is that? That would be my grandson, Finn. He regrets nothing. He's going to do it anyways. Hi, Pamela. How are you? I know you have a live coming up pretty soon. Hi, Jarita. How are you? And this one, too. I meant to behave, but there were so many other options. I know Sherry's my pre-sprinkler and my sprinkler. So these are the two that are going to be the giveaway today, which are really cute, and they go really well with, I'm good. It's been, I can't believe how fast the day has gone. You have 5 grandkids. I have 3, and they're all different. I mean, just like your kids, they're all different. Yeah, Pamela does a lot of shows, and she's always working on inventory. I don't know if any of you out there do shows, but someone just posted in the group, I can't remember who it was, but they had an amazing show. So congratulations to her. And I believe she said most of her inventory was the Stencil Smith. And of course, the Stencil Smith has the cutest, the greatest selection. I think there's like 10,000 stencils at this point, something like that. And the selection is just amazing. You have 4 coming up, Linda. Oh my goodness. That is a lot. Yeah, tons of work. I don't know. I might try one next year, but I'm not sure. Hi, Bonnie. How are you? So anyhow, this is what you do. And these are the 2 that are going to be entered in the giveaway. Whoops. Okay, hold on. I'll get it right yet. So these 2, Dear Santa, I regret nothing. So these would be great little things for little kids, I think. Hi, Kimberly. How are you? So I'm going to set these aside, and I'll show them a couple times during the live because we always have people hopping on and hopping off. Oh, yes. Thank you. Yeah, this is the one we did last week. So this is the Believes This House Believes. And I think I still, even though this is a white, I may grunge this hat up just a little bit. I got this at Walmart because it's a little, it's not quite the same white as this white. I'm unsure. So, yeah, so I might grunge that up. And then, of course, I did this side before the live with the little manger at the bottom, This House Believes. So if you didn't see that live, that's the live we did last week. And that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing that. So I'll put him there. And then I'll show you, I did this yesterday. I've been planning this for a while. I just couldn't get to it. But this is Santa's Magic Key for our house without a chimney. And then I got some of this baker's twine at the Dollar Tree store. And I got this key off of Amazon, which you can get a whole bunch of them. I think they came like in a 40 pack. And then it didn't come with these borders, but I have a lot of these borders. And I find they add really a lot to a piece when you add borders to something. These corner borders. But I thought that was really cute. And my grandson has already claimed that one when he came in and he wasn't having his meltdown. He wants this key because they don't have a chimney. So that's one I just recently did. And then this one I showed you last week, the Rudolph one, and that was with 3 different stencils. So the one we're doing today is going to be, and I always recommend, I have the link above. After this video, it will be above my video in the description. You can just click on the link and it'll take you there. But this is the stencil we're doing. It's number 7099. And I have the size medium is the one I'm using. I'm also using an additional border stencil that is not on sale. Now this stencil today and tomorrow will be on sale for 20% off. And if you use my code SIGNSHACK, SIGNSHACK, you save an additional 15%. Now you can use this code anytime when you're ordering and it will always save you 15% on your order. Not just on like this sale item, but all the other orders, it will save you 15%. So it's a good code to hold on to. And also, as you're hopping on, if you have any questions, and I don't see them, if I don't answer them on the live, yes, no, I've had a sinus infection. So yeah, I haven't been feeling very well. My eyes are all puffy and I know, yuck. But anyhow, so this is the stencil we're doing today. This is a Santa tray. And look how cute that it has the little, here's our favorite cookie. Look at those beautiful little snowflakes in case you get thirsty. Carrots for the reindeer. And it is just cute. And I think this would be a really, really great seller. And then this is the stencil I'm using also for a border. And this is, April always has all these great border stencils. This is number 3862. And this one's 10 inches wide. And I'm going to use the snowflakes on this. And I'll show you how I use that when I get this stenciled out. But this is a really cute version. Now I have done my trays. I've done them in buffalo check where I paint it red and then do black over. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, I'll get over it. It's just one of those things, you know. And I had to work all weekend and we were on the go and where I work is cold, so none of that helped. But I've done them on buffalo check before. That looks really pretty with the white colors. And I'm freezing up again down there. Okay. You use the Halloween, the fall and Halloween borders. Yeah, the borders are amazing. You can do so much with those. But I'm gonna use this as well. Now the wood I used, I did paint before, and I did do this in a wash. You could also do this in a real pretty red. You could do it in greens. You could do it in different colors. And I think I'm gonna have to move the camera up and back some to get this all in the camera. But this is the tray that I painted. And I did a wash on this. So I used Fusion Mineral Casement, which is the paint that I like to use. And when I do a wash, I showed you how to do a wash when I did our Give Thanks I think it was like 2 or 3 lives ago. So if you want to, hi Becca, how are you? So if you want to go look at that, you can. How to do a wash, but a wash is very simple. If you can see how you can see the grain through that paint, so it almost acts like a stain. You can do it with a wipe. When I do a wash, what I do is I'll put my paint on it, and then I'll spray water with my bottle, just all over my paint. I'll spray it all over my brush, and then I'll start, hi Kathy, how are you? And then I'll start going back and forth. And if it's not quite showing through enough, I'll add a little bit more water, and you just keep working it. You use less paint that way, and it's a really pretty look. It's almost like a stain, and those are my holes that are pre-drilled for my handles. So look how pretty that is, though, that wash. It really, sometimes it's hard to see on camera exactly how things, they look different and in pictures. But I think I'm going to have to move this, thank you, Judy. Thank you, Cindy. I think I'm going to have to move this back a little bit. Let's see. And maybe up just a bit. So I'll be able to get this in the camera. Okay, there we go. So it's an easy technique. And if you've never done it, I did do it several lives ago. If you can't find the live that I did it on, just message me and I'll send you a link to the live. It's really easy breezy to do. It really is. And if you have not done this, please do this, because we're going to have the live or the giveaway at the end of the live. And it's going to be this one and then this one. Dear Santa, I regret nothing. One lucky winner will get these 2 stencils. And I think they go really cute with this little tray. And then also another thing that goes cute would be this as well, I think, like with the tray, all the Santa things and the Rudolph things and all that stuff. I love all things Santa. I mean, who doesn't? Hi, Mitzi, how are you? Excuse me, I had to get I've been fighting this infection, and it's not fun. If you know when you're sick, you don't feel good. So I am going to, I've angled you down, and I'm going to take my stencil, and I already measured earlier, and I'll do this upside down. So another thing I forgot to mention, I don't know where here's my paper. So when you do a wash, sometimes it will raise the grain of your wood. Hi, Linda, thank you. Yes, let me know you sprinkled in the comments. Yeah, I love the magic peace sign. It's such a cutie. April makes the cutest designs. So I use just my packing stuff, like Amazon sends this just about every day. And hopefully we don't have another troll on here. So, hello Andrew, how are you? So I crumple it up and I use this as sandpaper. It's the finest of sandpaper. But when you do a wash, make sure you give it a light sanding afterwards, just because it will raise the grain of the wood, the water does. So you need to sand it back just a little bit. And I've already done that. And this is all ready to go. And I've drilled the holes, and hopefully I drilled them straight because Jeff wasn't here. And usually he helps me with the measuring and stuff. And I'm pretty sure I got them right. I measured. You know how they say, measure twice, cut once. But I'm going to stencil this upside down. And this is about to this letter. I mean, I eyeballed it, but then I also measured it because I wanted to know where I wanted my holes out for my handles. So my board also is, I guess I should tell you, this is a 1x12. And it's the medium stencil I'm using. And it's about 22 1/4, roughly right around there. And this is, honestly, I just had a scrap piece of wood laying there and it was perfect. I didn't even have to cut it, just sand it. So it worked out really, really good. Hello, Cindy, how are you? So I pre-drilled my holes. You could wait and do this to, you know, for afterwards, but I wanted to have it ready to put my handles on. So I use painter's tape when I stencil, and I did measure in about 3 inches to each outer letter. Not the edge of the stencil, but to the outer letter, to make sure that they were roughly about 3 inches from the border for what I'm doing. And I don't think anybody's ever going to notice except for you if you're a little off on something, truthfully. But stuff like that can drive me crazy. I don't know about you. Yes, I eyeball it. And, but like for this, when I was putting handles on, I did measure because, oh, you made the Momster and Dad Killa ones? Yeah, those are cute. That was another live. So I'm using Fusion Mineral Coal, and I was going to start with the red, but we'll start with the black. I'm doing white and black and red. And this would be really cute, just like April's little demo in red and white, but I wanted to show you just a little bit differently. And if you have not, if you're new to the Stencil Smith and you haven't used or ordered their brushes yet, I'm going to use the 1/2 inch, but let me tell you, yes, I'm making a Santa tray for the kids. This is like one of the single best investments you can make. It just is. So I offload onto shop towels. As you can see, I've used it a lot, and you can usually use all 4 sides and then fold it over and use the other 4 sides. They go a really long way. That's why I like to use them. Now for stenciling, if you're new to stenciling, because I can't always assume that all of you are pros. We get new people every time. So I get my brush and I get paint up on it. But then I take my shop towel and I offload it. Because you want an almost dry brush. You don't want to have, if you're getting bleeds, the brushes are the best. Like you'll never find a better brush. Hi, Allie, how are you? Than the Stencil Smith brushes. And I'm not just saying that. Everybody here will tell you the same thing. They are just fabulous. So my letters are going to be in red, but my snowflakes are going to be in black. So I'm doing this white, red, and black. Now you could do, you know, like you could do carrots for the reindeer. You could do carrots in orange. You could do reindeer in brown. There's a lot of different things you can do. This one I'm just keeping simple because sometimes I get nervous when I use so many colors. It's a hard thing for me to do. I know some people are so good at it, like Allie that just hopped on. She's wonderful at it. Cindy Berry. Oh no, your husband leaves his shop towels in their jeans. I can tell you they wash and, yes, they do. They do wash and dry pretty good. So this is going to be a simpler one. You could do all kinds of things. A couple lives ago, I also used those little twinkles. I forget which one I used this on, but I used it on snowflakes, I think, or something like that. This twinkles. If you did this, you could do your little snowflakes in twinkles over your paint. It adds a really, really pretty little glitter. Did anybody else use twinkles or get twinkles after that live? I know I had several people asking me for it. So I am just swirling. I'm a swirler. There might be situations where you would need to swipe if the bridges were real thin, but you would know because you'd put your brush on it, and if you started swirling and they started wiggling, you'd be like, uh-oh, I might need to swipe here, or maybe even dab a little bit. Some people, I know they use sponges. I don't. I love these brushes. These brushes are the best brushes you're ever going to use. So Kimberly loves the brushes. It's not the Twinkles brand. Well, I'm sure they're all really good, Sherry. I meant to bring my card out, and every once in a while I get a gift from somebody, And today, lo and behold, I opened my mailbox and there was a card from Sherry. And she sent me this absolutely beautiful scarecrow card she had made herself. And I know she had made it herself because I've made cards before and I could tell. It's just absolutely beautiful. I used to do card making and scrapbooking a little bit. But then I found out I wasn't getting any pictures in albums. But does anybody do picture albums anymore? I'm not even sure. So I've done one coat of the black and I'm going to do one more coat. And you could tape this off. These brushes stay so nicely together. And there are smaller brushes you can use too, the 3/8. And I think it's the 1/4 inch. And they're really good for tight spots. But you know what I was also thinking about these pretty little half circles of snowflakes? These would be really cute to use. Now, I haven't tried it, but like on a round. Like you could just go around and add more and add more. I don't know how well it would work, you know, depending on the size of your round, but that would be a pretty little border, wouldn't it? For your rounds. Like I have some little 6-inch ones here. So that's about the size. That would fit really cute, like as a border, and then you could put something in the middle. So these would make a really nice border on ornaments and stuff like that, these snowflakes, I think. Yeah, the Stencil Smiths, there is no, your Creative Memories. Oh, I loved Creative Memories. That was my jam, Linda. I loved Creative Memories. Okay, so I've got all the snowflakes. And I'm going to find a baggie here, which I need to get these out. Those are old, yucky ones. You know what? I just need a new baggie. That's all there is to it. I'm just going to throw this one out. Let me get a new baggie over here. So if you're stenciling, you can either take a damp paper towel or you could take a wipe. Yeah, Creative Memories. And then there was another one, Stampin' Up. They were like a lot, mostly cards. Yes, you stencil a crazy amount, Sherry. Not crazy, but I'm envious. I'm really envious that you stencil that much. I can't get that much done. So, I guess real life interferes. Yeah, Stampin' Up, that was the other. But that was a lot of fun, but I don't know. I found that it took forever to, Heritage Makers, Stampin' Up. I found that like when I was making them for pictures and stuff, like I made both of my kids really nice albums for when they graduated. And let's see, I think I'm going to use a 1/2 inch on this too. Let me find my 5/8, 3/8. Yeah, is that the 1/2 inch? Okay, a 1/2 inch. But I made both of my kids, but it seemed like I would take forever to make just one page. And I don't know, I never got any pictures in the albums, and so I just kind of let that go by the wayside. I don't know if that's a big thing. You haven't bought a card in 15 years? Well, I really, really thank you, Renee. I appreciate that. I really appreciate your card, Sherry. It was absolutely beautiful, and it really meant a lot. You people, you friends, have grown to be my friends. That's the way I feel about you. So I'm using this. This is Fort York Red. This is a really good Santa red. And I'm using this on the wording. And again, I just got my paint. And you can see you don't want a whole bunch on your brush. You just want the tips of it. You don't want to dip your whole brush in there at all. No, I love stenciling. Stenciling is the one thing. I've done a lot of things, but just you can make so many different things too. You can make aprons, you can make kitchen towels, you can woodwork, you can stencil on canvas, which I feel like I need to do a canvas project pretty soon. I haven't done a canvas project in quite a while, so that might be something fun to do. For those of you that haven't done a lot of canvas work, that's really fun to do. And what's nice about canvas is that you don't have to, I always give them a light little sanding to get the little nubbies, you know, the texture down just a little bit, but you don't have to cut them or anything like that. And that is nice. Or sand them, especially with the cold season coming up here in Ohio. I hate sanding. Usually I can talk Jeff into going out and sanding for me. And that's and I really, really appreciate that. So I'm just stenciling this around in the red. And like I said, this would look really cute. I've done these in buffalo check. If you did buffalo check, I would do like a red base with black buffalo check. And that looks really pretty. It would look really pretty in a plaid. There's just so many different things that you could do with this stencil. So many different colors. The circle says, yeah, the circle says, here is our favorite cookie. This one says, in case you get thirsty. And then this one says, carrots for the reindeer. I hope that helps. So I'm going to give it a little dry here. And I use, someone asked me the other day, I can't remember who it was, but about what I used for like food safe things. I like to use the Fusion Mineral Beeswax, but I'm sure you can get anything like on Amazon or anything like that. The middle circle is about, on the 11, the middle circle. Okay, let's see. So the middle circle is about 5.5 from outer edge to outer edge, like from the snowflakes to the edge of the word. So I'm assuming most of them are that. Yeah. And this is the medium stencil. And again, I'm going to do one more coat. So I've got my red paint and I'm offloading. And I'm just going to swirl around in there. And this is a really, I have another red that's really beautiful too. But it's more of a, like a primitive look, I think, for Christmas. This is more like of a Santa red, and it's called Cranberry by Fusion Mineral. And that is more of like a primitive red. It looks really pretty. It's a beautiful, beautiful red. But this is more like the typical Santa red. And see, these brushes stay together so nicely, nice and tight. I'm not really having to tape anything off or anything like that. And I'm just going to get a little bit more paint and offload. And just swirl around there. And I think this would be a really cute gift for anybody. It would be a really, really good seller. These Santa trays are good sellers. On stuff that I'm using, Kathy, on stuff that I'm using food safe on, I use Fusion Mineral Beeswax. And I will let this dry a little bit, and then I'll wax it on, and you let it set just a little bit, and then you wax it off. And it is a really, really nice wax, and it is food safe. So that way you can set your food right on it, or like a charcuterie board and all that stuff. And you could also, if you wanted, you could personalize these. Like, you know, you could put the grandkids' names maybe on the side up here. somewhere you could plan it where you would have, you know, you could put, like I have 3 grandsons, so I could put Liam, Finn, and Brody, or Liam, Brody, and Finn. I got to do it in the order of age or they might get upset. So let's get this red off here. So did everybody have a good weekend? I get the wax from Fusion Mineral. And usually there is, like if you look, they have a dealer close to you, or you can get it online, one of the two. And if you have any questions, you can message me. I forgot to grab my Fusion Mineral Beeswax and bring it out here. I don't know that I can run in and get it real quick because Jeff is doing our laundry room and he moved everything on me. So I just want to take a quick peek here and see if that's going to be, oh yeah. Oh, I like that a lot. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I love that. Look how pretty that is. The red and the black. That is really, really cute. So we've done this. And what I want to do is I have, where did I put it? Oh, so I have these borders. And like I said, this border is not on sale today. This border is regular price, but you can get 15% with my code Sign Shack. And you may have it because I've showed this border before. Let me find the number on it. I had it. And the numbers are always on the stencils. And you should be, oh, there it is. You should be able to feel them. So this is number 3862, and this is the 10-inch one that I'm using right here. And I'm going to use the snowflakes, but look how cute, like the little candy canes, the little Christmas trees with stars, and the little holly. Yes, it is, Kathy. But a lot of these people are not in Ohio, so that makes it hard. But like something like this, you know, you could definitely, like these little 6-inch rounds. And I've got some little ornaments too I want to fool with that I think these would look really cute on. But I'm going to do these snowflakes in black, and I'm going to put my handles here, but I want the snowflakes on the outside, and I'm eyeballing this. I want to start kind of in the middle of the board. Whenever I'm doing a pattern, I don't start down here or up here. I try to start in the middle. So at the bottom and the top, it'll look the same, if that makes sense. Yeah, you could add little Christmas trees. You could make this more colorful. I was trying to go for like a more, I don't know. I even saw one on Pinterest that was really cute, and it was like an off-white color, and everything was in black. It was just black and like an off-white, and it was really beautiful. And I'm just taping this down with painter's tape, but like I said, I'm eyeballing this, and I want like the middle snowflake to go down so you can line it up. And I better put my red brush away, or I'm going to end up having red snowflakes, and I want to have black snowflakes. So if you have not done it yet, please make sure you sprinkle. I know I say it a couple times, but people join at all different times. Sprinkle means this. And make sure you write sprinkled in the comments. These are the giveaways to one person. Dear Santa, I regret nothing. And I meant to behave, but there were too many options. Which my 4-year-old grandson, they came in today, and oh, I was like, okay. He got up really early. He usually doesn't take a nap, but he needed a nap today. He was not a happy camper. So he was like, he came in like a wrecking ball. So I'll move this down just a little bit. There we go. So again, hi Winnie, how are you? Make sure you sprinkle so you can be entered into the contest for those great prizes. So again, when I start with any kind of a pattern, I start with it in the middle. I don't go all the way to the end, because see, I don't know if you can see, but it doesn't go all the way to the end. So I'm just going to swirl it in there, just like so. And you don't have to do this. You could just do this tray and call it good. But I wanted to add just a little bit more to it. Something a little different. And that's the thing. Sometimes if you have something that's just a little, yes, you always receive a freebie from April. You have a 5-year-old grandson, then you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I need a nap sometimes too. I've gotten to the point where, especially when I work at the apple orchard, it's cold in there. You can't really heat it because of the apples. So you come home and you're in the cold, and you come home and you sit down, and the minute I sit down in the warm air, I go to sleep. Oh, that would be really pretty. Yeah, with dark stain and white paint, that would look beautiful. That you could stain these. There's so many different ways you could do it. You could make them all look different. But, you know, just like this little bit of detail, lots of times that can make a big difference if everybody's got a bunch of Santa trays at a craft show or something like that. So I'm going to give these a little blow dry because I want to move that down and up. And I think I planned this okay when I drilled these holes. So when you move it down, you just want to keep the pattern like, hold on a minute. So that's the little one. Okay, so the little one's going to be there. That's how that's going to be. You want to line the pattern up. So I had to go all the way to the end to line that pattern up. And I've taped it. And it is hanging over. So you're going to want, 9 grandchildren. What a blessing. Hi, Peggy. How are you? Food poisoning. I'm so sorry. That's awful. I've never had food poisoning. That's horrible. That sounds positively horrible. So I've lined this star up. I hope you get better soon, Vicki. And I'm going to just stencil this little snowflake in because I've lined it up. And you can dry over your Mylar. Just be careful. You know, move your blow dryer around a little bit. Don't just like sit it on it and heat it. Terry posted, one of my followers the other day, that she had some problems with her stencils like bending a little bit. But what had happened was I finally found out that she had rolled it back up and put it in the box for a year. So when you get your stencils, I take them out of the box, sometimes in a day or two. Usually I do it right away because I'm so excited. But then I hang them on boot clips. So I am going to take this tape off, and I love to go over the sides and edges. So I'm going to flip this up and just go over like that. And just kind of hold that down with my fingers. But that's why that happened. Because these come really flat. You take them out of the box and they just unroll perfectly. And so see how we've got that around the sides? It just wrapped right around the side, just like that. Gives it a little depth, everything. See how cute that is? So when that's laid out, well, let me get it in the camera. Everything's a mirror image here, guys, so it can be really confusing. But see how that is? How pretty that is when that's setting there? Just over the edge. That just gives it a little bit of something. So again, I've done this in the middle, so I'm hopeful. Yes, I hang them. I hang mine on boot clips, just like this. This is what I use. I hang them by category. That's the boot clip. Has a whole bunch of them together. There is a limit to what they'll hold, but it's a pretty big thing there. And I organize them like by holiday. Now I have so many that I've been organizing them by like not only holiday, but like by rounds, by leaners, stuff like this. Nope, not thrown all over like yours, Debbie. I do have some on the dining room table though, waiting to be organized, which I got to get to because that's annoying. And again, I'm lining this up. And if you look at the pattern, you'll be able to figure it out. Usually every stencil, something like this, would have a pattern. And I'm just lining it up. And I'm stenciling that. And I'm going to hit it quick with the dryer. And you should tape this down. So, and I'm going to go again. And then again, I'm going to take this and I'm going to just simply, and if it slips, it's super easy to line it back up. But just go like that and flip it over, just like so. And then you've got, yes, I got the hooks from Amazon. If you'd like a link, heat will warp the stencils if like you just lay it on there, just like that, like just leave it on there, but just move it around. And if you're nervous about it, you can take it off for a long time. I wouldn't do it over my stencils, but these are just the best stencils ever, this 10 miler. So look how pretty that looks. Is that not gorgeous? And see how, because I started with the center, in the center, the top and the bottom are maybe not exactly, but they're real close to being the same, so the pattern doesn't look weird. What did you just want to know, Susan? Yeah, I wash mine right away. I don't like to let them set. Okay, so I'm going to move this down, but you could put it in a little tub and soak. So I am going to move this down, and I want to do this on this end too. And I'm going to move this down here. And I am going to take it and just kind of scrape. I could get a little wet wipe or something, because I like to see where my placement is. Just on that one, because I'm kind of lining it up. But this is kind of in the center. Ooh, that's such a glare on that for me. I don't know if there's a glare for you. It's in the camera. And I want to make it straight, and I want to bring it to about right. Same, just, okay, that's about the same. And I'm going to tape this. And you could always, so like if you have a stencil that's hanging over like this, I've told you this before, but there may be new people here, you can always get a piece of wood the same thickness and kind of stick it there, because when it goes over like that, it tends to pull up on it. So if you put like a piece of wood there or something the same thickness, it kind of levels it out. And then I always like to take my fingers and kind of like put it between the stencils as I stencil it, and just kind of give it a little extra while I'm holding that down. I just want to take a peek and make sure that looks, let me turn it straight. Yeah, it looks straight. Okay. It was because I had it at an angle. And I'm just going to give it a little dry there. And I'm going to do one more coat of this black. This is going to be a relatively easy one, guys. And again, I'm just putting my fingers down. Going around in circles, swirling that in there. And it looks so pretty. And then same thing, I'm just gonna move this down here. I'll just get a little bit of paint on my brush first and offload onto my shop towel. But I'm gonna move this down. I better move that off. I'll flip that, my paint, I'll forget it's there and my paint will go flying. So I'm gonna move that down and line that up right there. And let's say right there, just like that. Tape it down again. And get that little snowflake. And give it a quick dry. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much at all. I do use Dawn Power Wash mostly to dry my stencils now, because I do use Awesome too. If I run out of Dawn Power Wash, I keep that on hand. It's a lot less inexpensive, and you can get that at the Dollar Tree. But it is really, it's really strong, the smell. So I'm holding this and I'm gonna flip this just like so. Whoop. And as I flipped it, I shifted it. So I'm just gonna line it up again. And flip it over like that. And hopefully not shift it. And I'm gonna hold this with my 2 fingers and stencil that in there. I'm getting it all over my fingers too, which you got your crafter's manicure. Thank you, Heather. I was trying to do something a little different. I thought about red and white. I thought about buffalo check. I've done all that before, but I thought this would be pretty. And then I'm going to get just a little bit more paint, just a wee little bit, and offload, just like so. And I'm going to move this down here and line it up, just like so. And I can take my little piece of tape. And just swirl that in there. Do a quick dry. And another little swirl. And I'm gonna flip this just like so. And put my 2 fingers down. And swirl that in there. And give it a quick little dry. And swirl that in there. And voila. And then you have, because you've started them both in the middle, may not be exact, but they're about the same on both ends, as you can see. So what do you think about that so far? Do you like that? I really like that a lot. The sweater borders. Oh, you were in house fire. I bet they would be sensitive, yeah. So I have handles, and I got these at Home Depot. These are the most inexpensive ones that you can find, but they look really nice. Now, there's a lot of beautiful handles out there. There's some really, really pretty ones that you can get on at Hobby Lobby, and I was just there the other day and I forgot to pick some up. Let's see, that's a Phillips. Let me get a little screwdriver. I forgot to get a screwdriver, girls. Sorry about that. Let's see. Yeah, it's not the right size. But yeah, Awesome can be really harsh, but it does clean really, really good. It really does. So if you're new joining, make sure that you sprinkle, because we are going to have yeah, they have some really cute, and they have other Santa trays. This is not the only one. The size of this board, Gail, is a well, I'm sure they have handles too. These are just like $1.20, and they look, you know, they look nice on most things. There are fancier, more beautiful ones you can get, but I usually typically end up getting these. But I do want to get some others. So I've pre-drilled my holes, and what I did was, when I measured where they were, like I measured 3 inches up, both of these, to make them around the same place. Hopefully this is the right size screwdriver. Usually I'm more prepared than this. And then just screw it in. They have some really pretty ones that you would do from the bottom, the screws. But these kind of look old-fashioned, I think, these ones. They're very popular. But I think, and I thought they would look really pretty too with the black and white. And then I forgot, just in case there's some new people today, I will show you how to close just a couple bridges with my red, and I'll close the rest afterwards. Which bridges are like the little gaps that hold. See, I don't know if I drilled my holes big enough. I'm starting to sweat. I don't think I drilled them far enough down is what it is. You want to pre-drill a hole so it doesn't split the wood when you put the screw in on anything. You want to pre-drill it. This may not just be a big enough screwdriver, maybe. Okay. And then let's get the other handle on. But so you could make these really quickly. They're not that hard to make. But again, I forget who asked, somebody was asking. So this is a 1x12, and it's cut about 22¼ inches long. You could do it shorter if you're just gonna do, you know, like the tray. This is something I've added on, the snowflake border, but I thought it would be fun to try and do a border. Thank you, Sheila. Yeah, I was debating, I was gonna do like red and white. Sometimes that's, I know, you know, I was looking for that and I don't know where Jeff put it. My sister is Heather of Sawdust Dogs, and she bought us a power screwdriver. And I've been looking for it because I know she bought Jeff one, my husband, for his birthday. And I don't know where it is. I know it's here. I just don't know where. Do you guys do that? Yeah, I thought that border would really add to it. But yes, I need the power screwdriver, Heather. I was looking for that the other day. It was a Ryobi, right? Oh, that's okay, Gail. It's a 1x12, and it is cut 22¼ inches long. You could cut it shorter if you're not going to add the snowflake border, but I thought the snowflake border added a lot. I thought it really tied it in very nicely. Boy, putting in screws is about like watching paint dry. You misplace your stuff. I misplace stuff all the time. I don't know. I spend more time looking for stuff, and I do have labels on everything. Like little stickers, you know, the little print-offs. Dino, hi Leda, how are you? Good afternoon. Or it might be well, no, it'd probably be, even if you're on Pacific time, I think that's 3 hours behind. So it'd still be afternoon. So I'm just giving that a little, not a little, I'm getting a workout here. I don't think I drilled the holes big enough, Heather. Jeff always looks at the screws and the drill bits and he's like, oh, that's the one you need. And I did that and I think I was mistaken. So again, I would put beeswax on this. You just got home from work? Yeah, so I think, do you guys like that? I know several people have said that. Do you like that snowflake edition? I thought that would be really, really pretty. A screwdriver of her own, yeah. That's right. Better too small than too big. That's right. If it's too big, it's a pain too. But I think that's really cute. And I would put beeswax on that. I am going to show you, just in case there's anybody new. Now the bridges are the little places. You don't have to do this. This is not something that you have to do at all. But see these little places right here and like there where it doesn't, where you have to put a bridge so the letters don't fall through when she cuts them. I like to close mine. Like I said, you don't have to. Yes, this would be a wonderful, and I love how the snowflakes like come over the edge too. I think that's just really, really pretty. And I think that, I really, really think this is something that would sell very well at craft shows. I think it's something you could also personalize with names down here. You know, you could move this just up a bit and put little, you know, the names down there. I had told my daughter I was going to personalize it and I forgot. This is a brush I got off of Amazon. It's just I think it's a zero. It's a zero, but it's got like the little triangle thing, so it makes it easier to hold on to. But I get a little bit of paint. And if you noticed, I did give it a little sand before because sometimes those bridges are higher. Now, I will say red is harder than black. White can be trying to cover. It's just the way it is. So you can just take your brush and just close those little bridges in. And if you haven't done this before, you could practice this on cardboard or paper, craft paper, whatever you wanted to do. I had a class here not too long ago with a girl, and it was the first time she'd ever stenciled, and she stenciled hers on like this craft paper here. And right before she closed her bridges, and she did them like a pro, like an absolute rock star. But you just get a little bit of paint. It's way too much. And then I dab it off because you don't want to lay like a big glob down. And just take your time. Sometimes you need 2 coats. Black is really easy. That's why one of the reasons I really, really like to do black lettering if I can, because it's way easier. But then I did the white, so I did this last night, and I closed the bridges on this, and it's not too awful noticeable, really. But I'll do a coat, and then I'll sand it a little by the bridges, that kind of thing. Hi, Kelly. Yes. Yeah, I like doing that. I like having people come over, teaching, and that is another option too. If you have all your stencils and you have a place, you can hold little paint parties at your house. That's another way to make money. I'm doing personal, I wouldn't want to do more than a couple people at one time, but I know some people do 5 or 6. So just like that, you're closing your bridges. And it just gives it a real kind of finished look to it rather than having a little gap in the letters. And I do kind of move around because for whatever reason, the bottoms, I'm better at doing like this. pulling like towards me. And the tops I'm better pulling towards me as well, so I turn that way, if that makes sense. So that's just how I do that. It's not that hard. And I left a couple open there. Let's see, I closed, the S is closed, and this A is closed, but I didn't close this A. So see the difference between like this A and that A? And that's another thing that can add just a little bit more to your work. And you do not think that I'm saying, oh, your work is not good if you don't do this. That is not true. Your work is beautiful. I think anytime, like if you don't try to do something, I did a pumpkin the other day. I cut it out on my scroll saw. I was really proud of it, but I wasn't super thrilled with how the end product ended. It was like, okay, but I wasn't over the moon with it. Leda, it's a 1x12, and it is 22¼ inches long. And this is, I'm going to show this again. You can screenshot this if you want. This is the stencil I use, 7099, and I use the medium. You can click on the link after this video posts. It'll be above the video, and if you just click on that link, it'll take you right to this stencil. And that's 7099. It's the size medium. It streaks the paint. Huh. What kind of sandpaper are you using, Linda? I'm just using this little, I just use like craft paper, the packing paper that comes with my Amazon stuff. So this is the stencil, and then the additional stencil that I used, and this one's on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off, and you save an extra 15% with my code SignShack. And this one is number 3862, and it's a 10-inch wide. And I use the snowflakes from that. But look at the little candy canes, the trees, just the holly. I use these on the border, on the side. These are not on sale, but you can save 15% with that. Oh, chalk paint can do that, yes. I was going to say, I've never had that problem with my paint. I use Fusion Mineral paint, and I have not had that problem at all, ever, with it streaking. And I just painted this, and I sanded it, and it didn't streak. Okay, so if you have shared, this is the giveaway. Make sure to sprinkle. Somebody's going to get these two really cute. Yes, number 3862, 10-inch for your memory. My memory is not that good, Bonnie. I know it starts with a 3. Number 3862, 10-inch. You are correct. So I like Fusion Mineral Paint. There's a lot of beautiful paints out there. You don't have to use what I use. Any water-based acrylic paint will use. I've never really used chalk. Well, I take that back. I've used Dixie Belle. I think that's a chalk paint. So if you want to sprinkle that, I'm going to show you a couple things while we get some last sprinkles in. Of course, I always do a show and tell at the end. Here we go. I'm going to angle you up for a minute. And I wanted to show you just a couple things that I recently got. Yeah, April just linked it to Bonnie, the link to it. And if you click on that, that will click on it. But this is really pretty. I have a fall and a winter one planned for this. This is not necessarily Christmas. I may have showed this before, I'm not sure. And I think to myself, what a wonderful, wonderful world. I love this song. Everybody knows this song. And this is just a really, really pretty stencil. But I'm going to do a double-sided sitter with this if I ever get around to it. I'm trying to finish up a headstone I'm making and all kinds of things. So you know how that goes. You have all these plans, and then all of a sudden the season's over. And it's like, wait, what happened? And then, of course, I'll give you the number of that. I've been giving the numbers recently. I know some people have this one, What a Wonderful World, is, excuse me, 1472, and it's a medium. That's this one here. That's your favorite part of the lives? Oh, well, that's awesome. I'm glad. I never know whether people like it or not, but I like to show you because sometimes you look at the stencil or I think there's 10,000 stencils now or more. So there's so many, you just don't see them. And then this is the one I did yesterday, which is really cute. And I added the borders too. Santa's Magic Key for a House Without a Chimney. And that is number, I think it's Louis Armstrong that sings that song. It's number 6454. And the one I ordered was a small in this Santa's Magic Key. And this is, again, that's the one I did yesterday I added the little key and the string and the borders too. So that's Santa's Magic Key. I actually did that one up. It's one of the ones I had been wanting to do and I finally got it done. And then this one is really cute, I think. Joy to the World with the little snowflake in it. That's really pretty. And that is number 4609, and this is an extra small. I think that's real gorgeous. And I'll set that over there. And then we have, this one is really pretty. This is like with an overlay. And we've been like mandala crazy and snowflake crazy, but this is the snowflakes. They come like this, 3 snowflakes. And then this is the overlay, Joy, Peace, and Love. So you can kind of see how it would look on a board with the snowflakes and the words over it. And then you can also use the snowflakes anywhere. And then, of course, the Joy, Peace, and Love could be used anywhere, anywhere at all.
I'm glad to hear it.
Whoops. Suri's glad to hear that. She's listening. Yeah, the font is really cute. Yeah, the key, you can get like, I think I got a thing of 40 of them on Amazon. I'm still using them up and I got them quite a while ago. And this one is number 5561 and this is a medium. This Joy, Peace, Love with the snowflakes. So you get, not only do you get that pretty sign, but you get these elements that you can use elsewhere, which is what I love, using, pulling stuff in from, you know, just like this tray, using a different stencil to kind of make it cute. This one is really pretty. This is a new one. I don't know if you saw that. I think this is one of the new ones. Silent Night, Holy Night, All is Calm, All is Bright, with the star, and look at that font. It's in the shape of a tree. And this is number 'Huh. I'm not finding the number on this one. That is so weird. I wonder if this was an overlay to something. But no, it would still have a number on it. Okay, I'm going to set that one aside. But this is Silent Night, Holy Night. This is really, really pretty. Beautiful. It's just a really pretty stencil. And then we've got, I like this one too. I have a plan for this one too in the future. It's number 9133. April said it's number 9133. I'm not sure what was going on there. And this is We Wish You a Merry Christmas with the tree. Look at all the little branches there. I like this down here, like for the tree trunk, little snowflakes. That's a really pretty one. And that is number 7132. And this is a 10-inch. But I have a little plan for this one I think would be fun. Something a little different I saw on Pinterest. I love Pinterest. And this one here is also We Wish You a Merry Christmas. So I got a lot of tree ones. So it comes with the tree. This is the overlay with the snowflakes. And again, lots of snowflakes you can use. Now, I have been cutting stuff out with my scroll saw using stencils. This is the angel that I cut out with the angel stencil last week, and I painted it up, and I have to, yeah, that would be really cute on a gift bag. Yes, it would. So this is like one of the angels that I cut. So my thoughts with this is one of the things I wanted to do in having this stencil, if you have a scroll saw, look at that tree for a pattern. Is that not perfect? And then you've got this beautiful stencil. But any of your stencils, if you have a scroll saw, you can use it. You can use it for things like this. And I still haven't finished this. I'm debating like what I want to put on her, and whether I want to put like a pattern on her, or I'm just going to put lettering on her. I'm just not sure. But this is only like I think this is about the third or fourth thing with a scroll saw. Oh yeah, don't get rid of your scroll saw, I'm telling you. It is, yeah. So this is just one of the stencils, and I'll put a little hook in it and have her to hang. But I'm just not sure. It's like I want to make the right decision, but you can always sand, right? But she's painted white and getting ready to go. So those are the stencils that I have for today that I'm going to show you today. And the angel stencils I did show last week. I don't know if I have them out still. But these are the angel stencils from last week, and I did show those, how beautiful those are. And that's the one I used to cut the angel out from. And they have many different sizes, but there's so many different things you could add. My scroll saw is a DeWalt, a 20-inch, I think it's called like a 20-inch variable. It's a DeWalt. If you'd like the exact link to it, message me and I'll send you the link to it. I got it at Home Depot. But I appreciate everybody joining me. But your stencils, yeah, your stencils are such a great thing to use for a scroll saw. Like it's you can do so many things with it. But we're gonna have now, if you have sprinkled, I hope you've sprinkled. Ellie wants a DeWalt. Well, tell the lobster he's got to get a DeWalt now, right? But yeah, but it's a really nice. Yeah, I did that, Vicky, last. How was your when? That was one of the ones we were debating. This one we did last live. And you could do so many things with it. You could do this red and white. I guess I've been on a black and white kick lately, right? So here's a black, this is what we did today. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. You don't have enough Christmas stencils, Linda. You can never have enough stencils. Your tools are all DeWalt. Oh, a Sears Craftsman. Yeah, Craftsman's good. I have DeWalt's and I have Ryobi's. I have a little of both. So, see, Sherry's doing the drum roll. She's like, come on, pull those stencils. You will have to go back and look at the live. Yeah, that was the one we did, I think, last week, Sheila. And any of my lives you can find on my page under videos. And they'll be like in the order that we did them. And if you ever have any questions, April's pulling for the stencils, please message me or message April. Sometimes it's hard. Mitzi May is the winner. So Mitzi, if you're still watching, yeah, we have mostly DeWalt and we have some Ryobi's. And the Ryobi's have been really good too. So Mitzi May is the winner. Make sure to email April with your address. And congratulations. You have to go to Mards or Lowe's. You know what? I had to order mine online because although it was from Home Depot, they didn't carry it. They only had one scroll saw there. They didn't have very many to choose one from. And it wasn't one that was very big. And so this is a big enough thing that I can move wood around on it. It's not real small. But congratulations, Mitzi. And I hope everybody will join me next week for another live. I forget what we're doing, but it'll be Christmassy because it is the season. But thank you all so much, and I appreciate you joining. And free shipping with Prime. You got yours on Amazon. Yeah, you could probably get the scroll saw even on Amazon. But thank you so much, and we appreciate it. And if you haven't, like and follow Chardon Sign Shack, like and follow the Stencil Smith, and also join our Paint and Share with the Stencil Smith page. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.